Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm Jim Goddard. I'm speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. Welcome back to Company Showcase, Larry.
Thanks, Jim.
Larry, what's the big news coming up for American Manganese?
Well, we had a news release this week, and it's to do more with the presentation that Zarco is going to be doing at the International Battery Seminar. And, the good part about that is we'll be talking to a lot of people that would be interested in our process. But looking at the market today, even after the NASDAQ went up and everything else went up, we continued to go down. Or we went up, but we turned around and went back down, thanks to the predators out there that really are frantic to protect their short positions at much lower prices as far as I can see. But that doesn't matter because we haven't taken a step back. We didn't announce that we got bumped from the program. We announced that we'd be doing it. And but these guys, every time we put out a press release, they make sure that the stock goes down at the end of the day. And I just want people to realize that I'm not whining or complaining. I mean, I don't like to see investors losing money. I don't like to see investors losing value, and I don't like to see myself losing value. So I've been talking about these predators for 8 years. Nothing has changed. Doesn't matter where you're located, where you're listed, or anything else. It seems like the Canadian market prevails with no short rule. And these guys are eating everybody's lunch here. So that's enough about that rant. We got a lot of good things happening. We've had a lot of good calls this week, and I see some dynamics changing, and I want people to realize this is not the same company it was 6 months or a year ago. It's a well-advanced company with solid patents in the U.S., and we're one of the few companies out there that is transparent about everything that we do. So, this is a quandary to me, how these guys can rule the day, but that won't last forever. That will end, and they have no idea what we're working on or anything else, and I don't put that out there. I get all kinds of emails of when you're going to start production, when you're going to do this. I would not put that out there, because that would just spur these guys to further predatory trading. And, I'm here as the watchdog for our investors. I try to be. I was a hero last week. I'm an asshole this week, but that's the name of the game. And, we just got to keep continuing on, doing the work that we do, and making sure that when we finally get the product out there, that it's first class and we'll be first in line. People don't realize that anything that's half-assed out there will not be able to get permits a year from now or whatever, because the countries themselves will impose strict requirements on recycling. And so that's part of our plan, is to make sure that our recycling is green, and it is a closed circuit, and it's not putting anything back into the environment. We're trying to do the latest thing that's for a battery manufacturer, and so we just go on from there, Jim. It's all we can do is the best we can do, and we have a pretty good network of investors. But these guys, when you don't have to own the stock and you don't have to borrow it, they can, we're at their mercy. But that won't last forever, because hopefully there's going to be a shock one of these days. And I'm not going to say what that shock could be, because, it's still a question mark with me. But I do know from looking after markets for 40 years, when you're doing the right things and sticking with your plans, that eventually that shock will come into the market, and we'll forget the bad days. So, I'm excited. We've had a couple of calls today. I'm not excited about the market. That's a downer, but I am excited about the prospects of the company. And the company is well financed to do the next what we have to do over the next 2 years. So we're not like we're going to go back to the market for any money immediately. And so we're in good shape. We're in good shape for this attack, and we'll come out of it.
Larry, what's the latest on the pilot plant?
Well, the pilot plant, we're still doing testing for the morphology of the particle sizes and everything like that. That's a new piece of equipment which may change the overall cost of the plant, but it'll give us a product that actually battery cathode manufacturers can utilize immediately, because that's exactly what we want to prove out there, is that we can do that. And so that's looking good, Jim.
Do you envision your recycling plants to be near battery factories, or would it do the recycling locally?
Well, it's, let's be honest, if you read the press releases and what we hope to accomplish with the morphology, we could be actually a supplier to the battery manufacturers, and we could skip a whole step. Recycling, and is one part of it, the biggest part of it, and then but the morphology and everything else that we need that's required by Tier 1 companies or battery manufacturers for that part. That puts us into a totally different state.
Larry, could your company make Canada a leader in EV battery technology?
Well, yeah, we're looking into that right now. Certainly, I believe that we are a leader and have been for 2 or 3 years, and we don't have what we call proprietary methods of getting the cathode side of the batteries, but we have patented methods of getting those cathodes out of the batteries. And so that should be a huge plus, and we're very transparent about it. If you wanted to follow the company and really go through it, you'd go to our website and see that, hey, this company seems to, have everything that's required out there. So, I'm thinking that, as a Canadian company, that we'll put them on the map for recycling and maybe for cathode processing.
Larry, for people new to American Manganese, what's the company all about?
We're a critical metals company that has a patent on low-grade manganese. We developed that at a large cost back 10, 12 years ago. We got the patent on that in 2012, and that's a cornerstone of our recycling. We got those patents through very jiffy quick. The second one was only 81 days, so that tells you there wasn't any competition in the area that we were in. And so it's, and those are benchmarks that people don't remember. We're not talking about somebody cooking a cake in the kitchen. We're talking about R&D, the most intense R&D that I've ever done in my life, and Chemetco's doing the R&D, and they're totally qualified to do that. So, there wasn't any sense in me hiring a couple of metallurgists and trying to develop our own R&D. So, yeah, that's what the company's all about, and we have a website out there, AmericanManganeseInc.com, where you can do your due diligence. If you're a deep diver and you want to make a big investment, I would advise that you go and do that, and trade the company on the venture exchange under the symbol AMY, the U.S. under OTCQB, and that, it allows actual investors to, it should attract a lot more investors, but ever since we announced that, the shares have gone down, but that's typical. And the truth of the matter is that that's going to be a world beater. That'll be something that we can set up to maybe move to the NASDAQ board at some point. So, it's that part is really good. You can, and our symbol is the same, AMYZF for the QB board, and the symbol for Frankfurt is 2AM. Now, you can contact the company at 778-574-4444. You can email me at LREAUGH@AMYMN.com.
Larry, thank you so much for the update.
You're welcome, Jim.
I've been speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. I'm Jim Goddard. Our conversation took place on March 5th.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.